Hello guys and welcome to Tech and Tesla Sweden. Today we're going to look at Model Y and in particular 3 different Model Ys. We have the first one. That's the Chinese built, Shanghai built, 2022 from February. It's a long range version. To the left we have a long range version built in September in Berlin, Giga Berlin. And to the left we have my Model Y Performance built in May this year from Giga Berlin. So it's 2 German built Model Ys and 1 Chinese Model Y, all from the same year. So I'm gonna show you some differences and similarities. To start off, all cars comes with matrix LEDs. The Chinese one have these matrix ones, and also the long range from Berlin, and of course also the performance one from Berlin. So matrix LEDs on all cars. Let's start with the Model Y Performance. You clearly see the LEDs when you hold something in front of the light. So this is how the matrix LED looks like, and it's 103 different LEDs that makes this possible. So let's look at the long range version made in Berlin, and you clearly see it's the exact same footprint of the light. So this also has the standard or the new matrix headlights. So the last car is the Chinese built one made in Giga Shanghai, and you clearly see that all 3 cars has the exact same headlights. All of them have these matrix LEDs, so no difference when it comes to lighting. Just want to show you a difference when it comes to glass isolation or double glaze on the front doors. This is the German one. As you see, there's 2 glasses, 2 parts. One is a bit thicker than the right one. The right one is thinner, and in between you have a film. So this is the same in the front as in the back on the German built cars, and it doesn't matter if it's a performance version or if it's the long range one. It's the same on both. So the back door looks exactly the same. Yeah, you see that. So let's move to the Chinese built one, and you can clearly see that the back door uses the exact same solution, the same type of glass as the German built car, but the front one is actually thicker. So the front doors on the Chinese car has real double glaze, where the two glass parts are thick, and they are at the same thickness, and in between them you also have this kind of plastic film for isolation or insulation. Another difference that you probably already know is the front seats. The front seats have, this is the Chinese car again, the front seats have not as much cushioning in the side bolster support on the seat, on the lower part, and it misses a stitch, and that's how you tell the difference. And it feels, the German built ones feels a little bit softer when you sit on it. You have a little bit more support. So let's look at the German one. Here you clearly see the difference. You have this secondary stitch here that doesn't exist on the Chinese one, and it's also a bit firmer and steeper. So you have a little bit more or better support in this one than you have in the Chinese one. Another thing that has changed on the German car, so that's new, is the cushioning on the inside of the door. This part is much harder, or much less. You get much less support and cushioning on this part, than you get on the German built one. And you have a lot more. You see the travel. It's a big difference. This one is a lot harder. The travel, I mean, I can't press it. I can't even press it. It's too hard. So it's a difference. So this is the Chinese boot. On this particular version you don't have the partial shelf as you have in the German ones. They may have introduced those on the Chinese versions now. Also see the difference here when it comes to the side. The plastics are a bit different. Don't mind this one. This is third-party plastic. That's only to support this partial shelf roll. But you see here, the plastic actually goes down a lot longer before you hit the fabric. So if you have a look at the Model Y from Germany, first off you have the partial shelf. I have been reviewing that before. It's not the best, but I still want to have it. So here you clearly see the difference. The hard plastic actually only goes here. On the Chinese one it goes down here somewhere. So it's a new design. This is Tommy's car, and he actually removed his standard caps or wheel covers and actually put in a center wheel cap to make it look a bit better. So this is the rims that actually comes with the car underneath the caps. So this one, Maxim's car, has the exact same rims underneath, but you don't see the spokes because the rim cover is covering all the spokes in a good way. So I think that's a good investment. It really lifts the car. I would use them if I had the 19-inch wheels. So now I'm driving the Model Y Performance just to try it and feel the suspension before trying the other cars. So the other cars are actually behind me now. I'm gonna do some switching. I really think that the long range one has the long range one from Germany, from Berlin, Giga Berlin, has a new suspension, or has an updated suspension. A little bit softer and more sophisticated than the Chinese built one. So let's see. That's at least what I think and what I feel when I tried it earlier. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna, when I test it just one by one, immediately after each other, I will feel the difference. And I will also talk to my friends and see if they feel the same difference as I do. And we'll let you know and summarize and explain the difference. So now I'm sat in the Model Y long range from Berlin. I'm trying the suspension, and it already feels a bit more softer, of course, than the Model Y Performance. It has a bit more travel in the suspension, and also it's softer due to more rubber and smaller wheels. This one is running on 19-inch. Mine is running on 21s. So that, of course, makes a difference. So after this, I'm going to try the Chinese version also. So soon I'm gonna do the switch to the Chinese version. The long range one feels good. It's silent. The 19-inch wheels makes a big difference compared to the 21s. But the sound level is a bit more lower in this one, and that's probably only because of the wider tires and the bigger rims and the brand of the tires. I mean, the tires on the Performance one is more or less sport tires. This is regular, more comfort tires. So that's probably the biggest difference. Now we're gonna switch and feel the difference. So now I'm in the Shanghai made car, and this is also 2022. So let's see. I immediately feel the difference when it comes to the seat. The lower part of the seat, I mean the sitting part, it's a bit softer. Yeah. So the seat is softer. But it also feels, let me try it a bit more. I also get a feeling that it is a bit more stressed. It's a bit more jumpy. Not sideways, but when it up and down. Vertical. The vertical movement is more stressed on this one. It feels a bit more nervous. So we're gonna drive over some higher bumps and see if that makes it more obvious. Yes, it's definitely a different suspension than in the German built car. You really feel the difference. So let's try the next bump. There is some rattles in this car, and I know Tommy, the owner of this car, is a bit annoyed about that. He isn't able to find the source of the rattle. That's fairly common when it comes to Teslas. I hear that there is something that's rattling at the back. Yeah, this car is definitely, it's not running the same suspension as the long range version from Germany. This is a lot more it's harder. Not harder as such, but as I said earlier, the travel up and down, the vertical travel feels a bit more stressed than it does both in the Model Y Performance and in the German built long range. There is definitely a difference. To sum this up, before summing up, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm doing. Help me create more content. The summary of this session is that this is my proof of that the Chinese version suspension is updated in the German produced long range. The German produced long range is not as stressed in the travel, in the vertical travel, as the long range version from China. So the Chinese version is a bit stiffer, but also it's more bumpy. It moves more up and down. It's more stressed than the German one. So the German suspension is upgraded. So all the people that's complaining about the suspension of the long range version of the Chinese car, you should probably try the German one because it feels better. It's more comfy to ride and less bumpy.
there you have it. So thank you for watching. Speak to you soon.